My question is judgment,
Hmm.
right? And judgment is different than impropriety. And it's hardly a secret. I had questions about the judgment involved in bringing the lawsuit against XRP. I had questions about the timing. I
Hmm.
had questions about the implications. I had questions about policy. Is this a matter that's really best addressed from a social perspective by bringing a lawsuit, or is it better addressed by saying, let's look at our regulations?
Hello, my crypto people. That was a very important clip for the Ripple v SEC lawsuit. That was a juicy piece of content. But before we get into that, welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News, everybody, where we cover all the most important daily crypto news. So if you're wondering why that was so important, we'll cover it in this video in depth, so definitely don't worry about it. But it is mostly the case because he calls out the SEC v XRP lawsuit. And you got to remember that this individual, Joseph Grundfest, is also a SEC commissioner. So if we from just watching this video can already feel his doubts as to why they went after Ripple, then most likely there's quite a lot of doubt, uncertainty, and whatnot within the SEC themselves, as he is not the only one. To get into it though, John Deaton tweeted this. Notice how Professor Grundfest says the lawsuit against XRP. He didn't say against Ripple. The SEC is actually attacking a digital token itself. It's insane, and some people and organizations remain silent. History will not be as kind as silence equals complicity. Complicity. Now this goes on further. As you guys most likely know, we covered this a little while ago. And so now take a look at this. Ripple is not alone. Hester Peirce also thinks the SEC will lose against XRP, or basically lose the XRP lawsuit. Quote, a source close to the SEC tells me Hester Peirce has expressed privately she thinks the SEC will not get the results or outcome that they are looking for. This was told to Fox Business journalist Eleanor Tourette. And then there's also this video that I want to remind you guys all of.
To litigate. This agency has to be willing to go into court and, take some losses from time to time. But go into court.
Right.
I think all of those things, but it's trying to use high-profile cases to bring folks back on the right side of the line.
I think that was well enough just to showcase that the SEC, I don't think is going to win this one. At the end of the day, that's just my opinion, but I do not think they're going to win this one. But also, I think there's a couple more pieces of evidence, I would say, at least one more SEC commissioner that's now showcased that they do not agree with the entire approach or do not agree with the fact that XRP is this or that or this or that. I'm a little bit too lazy to look it up exactly because I don't think it's going to add anything. Remember, we have enough evidence. What was that? That's scared. I cracked something. Maybe it's the cakes that I ordered. All right, what they look like is like, I have a purple one and a what's it called? Red velvet one. Yes, I have that. Maybe I cracked it by accident. What I wanted to say was actually that just one SEC member not completely agreeing. Theoretically speaking, that's actually enough for me. But the fact that we have at least two, potentially three. Potentially even four, with Gary Gensler, I guess, being disregarded for everything. Remember, guys, this man is on a litigation spree because we just watched the video. We know he likes it for some reason. He thinks that's the best way to make rules. Remember, the SEC can't make rules themselves. They can go through a rulemaking process or litigation. And in the past, he's also said crypto is a speculative asset that needs more regulation. But funny enough, the US was kind of thinking differently about it, thinking, well, crypto indeed need better regulation, but it's the freaking future, so let's take this one slowly and properly. And I think it's kind of funny because they didn't say, hey, let's ask the SEC for some help, or here, SEC, decide or do this. They were like, you, go search this up and we'll get some decisions going, which I think was rather beautiful. All right, to not stay too long on one subject, because I think you've heard 1,000 times by now that Ripple's most likely going to win. Just my opinion, but hey. Because congressional action takes so long, the best scenario that could happen is for Judge Torres to rule in Ripple's favor regarding fair notice. Most of the existing top cryptos could rely on the court's ruling, and thus relegating the SEC's crypto jurisdiction to ICOs. There's actually some knowledge that needs to be read before that. So John Dean said the executive order directs agencies to work with our allies and partners to ensure international frameworks. UK's FCA declared XP non-security, Japan's FSA declared XP non-security, Switzerland, Dubai/UAE, Singapore, and other countries around the world say XRP is not a security. And then Bill said, if this statement summarizes the objective of the executive order, then nothing about the Ripple lawsuit or Gensler's approach to crypto is consistent with these objectives. Where the SEC by its mission could help protecting consumers, it failed to do so in suing Ripple, which I think is beautifully written. I'm so certain, man, if you only could see inside my brain, peek inside my brain for a second as to how certain I am Ripple's going to win this one, which is why I'm overexposed to XRP, I guess, kinda. All right, you know what, to also have some Bitcoin stuff in here. At the end of the day, guys, I'm a crypto enthusiast. I believe cryptocurrencies will skyrocket over time. I think XRP is a great contender for 2022. That does not mean I only hold XRP or actually dislike Bitcoin, Ether, or anything like that. Willy Woo, for example, here lays up something, and I think is actually interesting. He lays out the theory on who might be dumping the crypto market right now. Leading on-chain analyst provides a theory that explains why some large address might prefer selling over buying right now. Taking a look, Wengarian said, for you to buy Bitcoin at 20,000, someone has to be selling at 20,000. Ask yourself, would the same price participants sell Bitcoin at 20 if they're bag holding from 60 to 30? Also ask yourself, how many of your peers are in stables ready to buy the generational bottom at 20,000? Willy Woo reacted saying, the thing is, the people who bought at 200, who are more in Bitcoin holdings than any recent buyer above 20,000, are perfectly fine to dump until bulls capitulate, so they can buy back their coins much cheaper. Just laying out the game theory, no one knows the future with certainty. I personally think this discussion is quite stupid because it comes down to a couple of fun fundamentals, one of them being any person with any amount of money can sell at any time. You should always remember this. You might say, oh no, but a person who's been holding since 2010 has strong hands or knows Bitcoin is the future, so they'll hold. Not true. They can always sell at any point because they're in a lot of profit. And we've seen a lot of dormant addresses come to life. They could be selling because they are in, for example, millions of dollars worth of profit with only $500 that they put in. Then you might say, well, but people that bought from 60 to 20,000 or whatever will not actually sell at 20,000 because it's too low for them, or not sell at 10,000 because they would be at a loss. Well, I think 90% of the people actually trade poorly, and so it is a very high probability that a lot of the people who are new to crypto are actually going to sell at a loss. So I'm not exactly sure where that argument came from either. Then again, on the opposite side, all these same people can also be buying at any one of these points. Remember, crypto, in my own opinion, and for most of these people, is only getting bigger. The demand is only increasing. And so I would say it's very logical that people at any one of these points is going to buy. A veteran is going to buy because they want more crypto, because they're so certain about it. And a newbie just has to enter somewhere, so they buy right now. So at the end of the day, we can theorize all we want, and we can think of theories as to why the crypto market is dumping or whatever. I personally think the general direction for the market is upwards. There'll be a couple of hiccups in the road. There'll be a couple of negative times throughout, but the general direction is upwards. And I guess that's all that matters for me. Now I have another article. After this war is over, money will never be the same. What Credit Suisse shocking prediction means for Bitcoin and crypto prices. So I would say that this story is actually not too important. One of the things he only states at the bottom right here is that that it isn't likely to encourage investors to ditch gold in favor of crypto. However, the volatility might partly reflect the lack of regulatory clarity. So if policymakers really do start drawing up plans to further legitimize crypto and some prediction comes true, Bitcoin and other cryptos may emerge as one of the more reliable stores of value. And that again is all based upon the idea that there's quite a lot going on in the world, quite a lot of tension, quite a lot of trouble in paradise. And at that point, people look for these things. People look for these stores of values. And the underlying thought is, well, crypto right now is so unregulated. There's so much volatility in there. You can literally lose your money, like 50% of your money tomorrow. And gold, well, it's been so long and set in stone that even though you're not going to make money, it's going to keep it kind of, that once crypto get a lot more volume, once people get more familiarized with it and the rules are clearer for most countries, because again, in some countries it's already quite clear, that at that point the price will also stabilize. And again, that is definitely something to think about. It's also very interesting to see the XRP price move. Right now, it's looking as if our breakout from yesterday has just been completely destroyed throughout the last day or so, which is interesting to watch. It is looking as if we're going to kind of inch closer and closer and closer to our 77 cents golden mark and hopefully start getting some crazy momentum going once we inch closer and closer and closer, because we've been doing that for a little while right now. In terms of Bitcoin, I am still honestly expecting either 44.5 thousand for Bitcoin, or we're going to bounce right back. Where are we bouncing, you might ask? All the way back here at $37,000. I actually, honestly, yesterday expected us to bounce back at 38, which is what I said. We had two scenarios, which is continue on with the pump, but we've actually rejected the exact same breakout like multiple different times. Take a look at this. We had our bullish engulfing breakdown, bullish engulfing breakdown, bullish engulfing with the confirmation every single time breakdown. It's funny. No, actually, even further, look at this. So our first bullish engulfing with confirmation candle, crazy breakdown. Again, another bullish engulfing with the confirmation candle, breakdown. A new bullish engulfing with the confirmation candle, breakdown. A new bullish engulfing with another confirmation candle, breakdown. Starting to get kind of funny in here. All right, that was it for today's video, though, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And adios, amigos.